Okay, so I have something really awesome to show you guys. This is my GEDCOM parser. A while back I posted a video where this was written in Python. And I've redone everything. I've written it in C++. I even created a GUI program that implemented this GEDCOM parser to actually have a graphical user interface so you can actually see stuff a lot more easier than in a command line. But this is a basic command line version, and this is what I'm going to be showing you. I'll post another video showing off the graphical user interface one. So basically I have a whole bunch of commented out code that I'll show you guys how it works. But a way to get started is you need your file path. So this is a Shakespeare GEDCOM file. And if you guys don't know what GEDCOM files are, it's basically just a way to store family information into a linear file. It's pretty much just a text file with information on it that you got a parser to get some information from it. So you have the file path, and you can anywhere on your computer you can have this GEDCOM file. Okay, so first you create the parser object. You create the parser object and you pass in the file path into that, and that's going to create an object that you interact with to actually get information and manipulate this GEDCOM file. So let me uncomment this code out. Save that. So what this does is this uses the parser object to output information about every individual within the GEDCOM file. So you have a basic for loop, and you're just printing out information from objects and classes. So let me run this, and it outputs all the individuals within the Shakespeare GEDCOM file. So you have William Shakespeare, you have the dates, birth and death, Mary Arden. I have no idea who these people are. I just got this from the internet. All these people. I think there's 32 people in this file, and some of them don't have birth or death dates. So that's what that does. Let me comment this back up. Okay, so this one is a little bit more complicated. This uses a parser object to output information about every family, not individual, family within the GEDCOM file. So when I run this, it's going to, there's like 10 families, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 10 families. And so you have the husband, you have the wife, and you have the list of children, husband, wife, children. You have a husband, wife, no children. So that's what that does. Basically, when you're using this GEDCOM file, you have to check if this is a tertiary operator. You have to check if the father or the mother in that family object is a null pointer. If it is a null pointer, you have to print out that it's an unknown. Okay. If you try to print out a null value, then you're going to get an error. Okay. Because a null pointer doesn't have. Because if father is a null pointer, you're going to try to be printing out a name member that is non-existent, right? So you have to always make sure that you check for that. And then children, you don't have to check for that because basically in each family object, there's a list of children, and that list could be 0. So in that case, this for loop right here, which loops through the the children list. If it's 0, then it's just not going to loop at all, right? I don't know why there's a space right there. So that's that. Let me comment that out. And let me uncomment this. Now this is where it gets interesting. Okay, so basically this GEDCOM object can actually manipulate the information within the GEDCOM file. Okay, so what this does is it outputs the birth and death dates of the 10th individual in the file, and then it edits the dates in different input formats and finally outputs the edited dates. And the cool thing about editing dates in this is that the parser object recognizes many formats and will standardize how the date is saved, which is a really cool feature that I thought would make this parser go from just average to like extreme coolness. So I'm going to change the dates. Let's say May of 1923, okay? And let's say the 5th of November 1654. Doesn't even make any sense, but I'm just showing you guys how you edit it. So first it's going to output what it currently has in it. It's going to then edit it. You have to call the update data function within the GEDCOM parser to actually update the data into the GEDCOM file. Because if you don't do that, all it's going to do is during runtime, when everything's running, it'll edit it and it'll all be good and it'll look all good. But then you close the current runtime and then you open it back up and nothing was saved to the file during the previous runtime. So everything goes back to normal. So you have to use the update data method within the GEDCOM parser class. And then it's going to output the new dates. So let's save and run this. So 5th of May 1984, 5th of November 1984, and then it's going to edit that, save that, May 1923, 5th of November 1654. So now when I close out of this and when I open it back up again, what it's going to do is everything's going to be exactly the same because it saved it to the file and then it's going to open it back up and it's just going to write, here I'll just show you. May 1923, 5th November 1654. So that means that it's saved. If you don't update the data, now let's change this to July 1923 and the 23rd of November 1654. Okay, so it changed it, July 1923, 23rd November 1654. It changed it. But when we close out of it and we come back in, it didn't save it to the file. So that means that the first two first two outputs that it spews out is not going to reflect what you edited during the previous runtime. I hope that makes sense. So always call the update data. Always do that. Okay, and that is really it for this demonstration. There's a whole bunch more you can do with this parser object that you create, but this is just the basic 3 main things I wanted to get you guys started on before you actually start using it. So if you want to actually kind of play around with this, maybe change the code up a little bit. It's definitely not perfect code. There are some errors and bugs that I've been trying to work out for the past 2 weeks or so. But just play around with it. It's really cool. It's really fun. I'll give a link to my website, which has the Shakespeare GEDCOM for download, and it also has a GEDCOM file named Royal92, which has about 3,000 individuals. And the more individuals that are in a GEDCOM file, the longer that things are going to take for this parser object to actually load and do stuff with. So just keep that in mind when you're using it. But that is about it. I guess I can do a quick overview of the actual code in this. The basic format, and in the future I'm gonna try to put these into different files and make it into an actual library so you can just easily access it through includes and stuff. But basically the main structure is you have 3 different classes. You have the day class, you have the individual class, and you have the family class. And it just stores information about families, the individuals, and the dates. And this is where the parser, when you create a parser object, everything is initialized. This is where you edit the names. Edit the names, the sex, birth and death dates, marriage dates. And this is where you actually update the data into the file. A whole bunch of stuff that I probably can't even remember how I wrote. Honestly, I probably wrote most of the stuff like a month ago, so I'm not going to really remember much of it. But it works, so that's good. Let's see. What I'm really proud of, if I can find it, yeah, the parse date method in the parser class is what actually interprets different formats, input formats of different dates. Um, Basically, just a whole bunch of if statements. Definitely not every format is covered. If you put the like year first, 1984, November 5th, which no one does, so I'm not going to really worry about it. No genealogist is going to really do that, and I think at least. Um, it's going to do some weird stuff, but overall it takes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different formats, main formats that most genealogists and people who write down dates use. So that's that really, and then just some helper functions as alpha to upper, get month number, that sort of stuff. And the generate family tree, I'll leave you guys to mess around with this method. It's really messy code that I wrote, so don't even try to edit it. But basically, the generate family tree method outputs a vector of individual objects, and each subscript, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, is going to be a generation. So I believe the 0 subscript is going to be, trying to think, the first subscript, which is number 0, is going to be generation 1, so it's going to have just one person. Then subscript 1 is going to contain 2 individuals, and subscript 2 is going to contain 4. And you know how family tree works: is 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512. So I don't think anyone's family tree is that big. That'd be thousands and thousands and thousands of individuals. But I'll let you guys play around with that if you really want to. So yeah, that's it really. So link is going to be in the description. It'll probably either be a Google Drive download or a GitHub download, just depending on if I'm able to upload Visual Basic, not Visual Basic, Visual Studio project files into GitHub. I've kind of had trouble with that before, but I could probably just, or I could just put it on my website and you guys can download it directly on my website. Don't worry, there are no viruses on my website. I'm not that type of person. I'm just someone that wants to create code and get it out there for people to enjoy. So that's it. Thanks for watching.